Hello everyone, and thanks for stopping by to Scrap and Craft with Terry. Today we're going to make a multi-pocket journal insert. And I'm just using this scrap piece of scrapbook paper. It was left over from another project. So that's going to be the base of my insert. So it's not really big. It's kind of a little bit smaller, but it'll work as an insert. It's a little narrower. I think the length is good, but you could make them a little bit wider. It would be completely up to you. So my base of what I had was about 7 3/4 by 7 5/8. Now it was just barely longer and just barely wider, and I cut it to that dimensions because they're easy dimensions to use. So it's just single-sided, and we're going to make some pockets in it. So that's what our video is going to be today. So we're going to go ahead and get started. If you like my video, I just ask that you give me a thumbs up and check out my other ones. Now this is music type paper, and it's kind of odd because the design kind of goes at an angle. So if you're looking at it, it might look like I cut it wrong, but a couple times I had to even a spot here or there, but I finally got it to where I wanted it. So on the inside, I thought about just inking the inside and putting my pockets and stuff on, and then I thought I didn't just really want to do that. I wanted to use some of this paper, and can't remember which is the right way and which is the wrong way. I think it goes like this. So this is how we're going to put them on here. And I cut these just a little tiny bit smaller than the background. This one is about 3 3/4 by almost 7 1/2. So that's what I cut both of them at. So you would just figure how the size of yours. Now look, I have these marked left side and right side. So it must go like this. Didn't even look at what I wrote down. Okay. So if you want a border left around it, you can just put your paper on there, make a little mark where you have to cut it, and cut it to size, or you can just make it go the full width of the background. Completely up to you how you want to do it. So I rounded my outside corners just because I like it that way. I think it gives it a finished look. Every once in a great while I'll leave the corners square, but not too often. But that's just the way I like it. So I've had this one made for a few days, but just finally getting around to doing this video. Just evening it up the best I can. Now, part of my idea, that should have been over a little tiny bit, but it's okay. Part of my idea for this insert is, the other day we made this belly band with these little tiny envelopes, and I was going to use these envelopes, but the envelopes was too big. I couldn't put enough envelopes on the belly band. So I wanted to use these envelopes instead of just letting them set. So we're using the envelopes that come from the 4-inch square on our project today. I think I had one envelope left over, but I could only fit 3 on here. But the other one I can use somewhere else, is not a problem. But I wanted to do something with the most of them envelopes anyway, just because I liked the papers. So the papers that I chose today are some of the papers that I used in them envelopes, and some of the papers that just kind of coordinate with them. Okay, so that's our inside. This is our front. So on the front, we're going to put a pocket. This matches the background on the inside. So now these corners are just the square corners, and these corners are rounded. Now this doesn't go all the way out to the edge, but I like the top of my pockets rounded. I guess I should have already done that. But sometimes I forget what I'm doing. So, doesn't take long to fix it. And I already have my little thumb notch in here. So I'm just going to glue this on 3 sides. And I'm going to use my art glitter glue for this. Let me put my cap back on this so it doesn't clog up my tip. I'm just going to put a thin bead of glue across. I want to keep my pocket as big as possible. Pretty sure my tag will fit, but sometimes once you get it glued down, then you have to trim the tag to fit, but we'll check that. So these papers here are just printables. This is the only scrapbook paper. So see, you can incorporate them both together. Let's see. Yes. So my tags, I used, excuse me, a piece of card that I have. It's pretty stiff. And then this is one of the papers that was from this envelope. That was on the belly band. I love this background. I'll tell you in a minute how big my tag is. And then I just cut my mats a little bit smaller than the tag background, just to leave a little border. Oh, sorry, I had to pop off for a minute. So let me see, my tag is, I don't want to use that one, I want to use this one. My tag is 2 1/8 by almost 6 7/8. So that's what we're going to go by. I have this ruler sitting up here so I don't go up off the camera. Now I want to put this in here, and I want to match this up with my thumb notch. Because I want my thumb notch to match my tab. Now hold my finger back there. Put a little glue on here because I don't always get my tabs evened up with my thumb notch. Oops. Make sure it's still in the right place. Yes, it is. Now hurry up and open that up and put some glue back here. There we go. Probably not the easiest way to do that, but I guess that was my way. So there. So I have that matched up. And that'll work. I like that. Now, I'm going to put some lace on this, but I'm going to do that after I get my other pockets done. Now on this side here, I'm going to do my envelopes. And this one here I didn't have finished yet. So if you didn't see this video, I showed how I did my pocket or my envelopes for this. So I have everything inked. I think it doesn't look like I really inked this part. Maybe I didn't finish this envelope. Okay, so I'm just going to put some glue on here, put some glue over here, and hopefully I'll glue them down a little bit better than I did on the other video. And you just want to watch you don't get too much glue on the inside, so you glue your envelope shut. Now, as I said in the other video, generally I'll fold this part under, but I thought on these I liked that part, so I just left it stick up. And then I have a little circle floating around here somewhere that is for my closure. Here it is. So all I did was put the circle on, glued just the bottom, and then that's my closure. That'll hold my flap shut. So I'll just put this down here, and I'll glue a little bit, and that'll hold that shut. Now I'm thinking these two might be from the same sheet of paper, but two different sections, so they don't look completely the same. But I don't mind that at all. On these little circles, I just added an extra piece of paper to make them a little stiffer. And you just want to watch you don't put too much glue up too high, so you glue your flap underneath there. So I'm going to have this one at the top, this one at the bottom, and this blue one in the center. Now, they're going to be little envelopes to hold journal paper, but I'm going to glue them just on the three sides so I can have little pockets made out of them also. Now I have to see, oh no, wrong way. They're going to sit on this side. I told you I had this done for a few days. They're going to sit over this way just a little bit, because I'm going to have my my tag going this way. Okay. So once I figure out everything that I'm doing, then we'll have it all figured out. So I'm going to have that the open spot. I was going to do it the other way, but my tags were too tall. And I wanted to have the little topper on them. So I decided I could put them in the side. So that's why we're doing that. So I'm going to move them over this way so there's more room over here for my topper. Because I can't have it go over my fold. Now let's see if this goes in here. Let me use my bone folder. And we'll just move it around in here a little bit, not to undo my pocket, but to make for sure that I have room. Now these are just papers. I didn't back these to make them stiffer. So once my pocket's set and I can go over them more with my bone folder, then these will go down in here better. I may have to just take a little off of the top there, but if I do, that'll be fine. I just used my 1-inch circle punch. Or I can cut some off of the bottom of my tag. I would rather not cut my circle. Let me see, what did I do with it? It's blending in. Now I almost feel like I don't know what I'm doing. So now that I put these together, I'll just ink a little tiny bit there. Okay, now we're going to glue these other 2 pockets down. Well, pockets, but they're little envelopes. Let me see. Just want to kind of spread them out a little bit. Make sure that I'm putting it on straight. Or somewhat straight anyway. And then I'll put that one on there. And we'll put that one about there. Okay. So now, I don't want to put my tags in yet. I want them to dry. But we can put our little journal papers in. I just did a piece of paper. Oh, let's see. It's about 5 3/8 by almost 2 inches wide. And then I just folded it in half, rounded my corners, and inked around it. So we'll just slip these in here. So we'll have journal space in each of our envelopes, and then we'll have our tags behind our envelopes. So that'll give us quite a bit of journaling space on this page. Okay, so we'll set our little tags aside for right now. Then on this part over here, I have, let me see, Set these up here. I'm going to put 2 pockets on over here on this side. I'm going to have a pocket here, and then I'm going to have a little bit shorter pocket in here. And I have my tabs cut staggered, or my thumb notches cut staggered. So when I put my toppers on, I'm going to match them to these so I don't, because I did one video and I staggered my thumb notches and then I didn't put my thumb notches on to match them. So then it didn't look right. Now on this pocket, because I like the tops of them rounded, I rounded all 4 corners because the outside corners on this is also rounded. And then I just cut these a little bit smaller than the background because I want it set in just a little bit. So this pocket is about 3 inches by about 7 1/8, I would say 7 1/8 is close enough. Then I'm going to stick on this pocket, and I made it smaller yet, and it is about 2 1/8 by 6 7/8. And that's just going to sit in a little from all sides, and all 4 of these corners are rounded to match. This paper here I used in one of the pockets on the belly band. That was this pocket right here. Let me wipe off my nozzle. So how's everyone doing today, and what is everyone working on? Let me know down in the comments. All right, my big tag is just over 6 1/2 by about 2 7/8. My small tag is 2 inches by 6 3/8. This is the same background as this. Working on a couple different ideas for a couple videos anyway, so you'll just have to stay tuned, see what we do. Sometimes I get my ideas, but then I'll come across something else that I want to do a little bit quicker. So then my first idea gets put off for just a little tiny bit. Now the background on, or the mats on both of these are the same background. And all of these papers go good together, so that works. All right, now I want to put this in here. because I want to match my tab. And I think what I'm going to do is put a little glue on that bottom part and stick it on there. I think that'll be easier than the way I did it before. And then I can take my tag out and finish gluing my tab. Make sure it's not cockeyed. I think it was just a little tiny bit. And then there's lots of journaling space on the back of the cards. And I inked them. I think I got quite as much on that spot. There we go. So that one matches. Now we'll put this one down in here. And I'm going to do the same thing with this tab. And I'm just going to put it down in there a little bit. Now I like matching my tabs with my thumb notches like this. Works well. And I think that looks straight. Now, if you're doing this and you're putting everything together as you're cutting your pieces out, it'll go together a lot faster. When you're doing it this way where you're getting ready for a video, it takes a little bit longer. But if you do it this way, then once you start putting everything together, it goes fast. All right, now I'm going to run my bone folder underneath my envelopes and see if I need to trim my tags. And if I do, we'll just trim the bottoms. I might have to trim the sides too. So give me just a second. Okay, so they're a skinnier tag, but still lots of writing on them. And I can ink around these later. So we're just going to slide these in here. Now I know I had them in here, so they have to fit. And I'll put that one up there. And then I'll put this one here. So there we go. There's our tags. And on the back, I want to put another pocket. And this is just going to be a little narrow pocket. Well, a long, narrow pocket. And then we're going to have a tag in it also. So we're going to, let me see, this one is 1 5/8 by 7 1/8. Now, same here, these are square, so I'm not going to round them, but I'm going to round these corners. Okay. I was doing pretty good at driving that glue on them other pockets, but not so good on this one maybe. Okay, so I just kind of want to center it. And then we'll make sure our tag fits. Yes, it does. And this one is about 2 3/4 by 6 1/2. And this paper here matched this paper here. And that's also one of our other pockets that's in here, one of our little envelopes. That's what one of our little envelopes in this project is also. I think it goes this way. Some of these doesn't really matter which way it goes. Okay, and then we'll match up our tab. So let me just turn it this way, and I will say that's probably about right there. I think that's about right. And we'll just fold that down. And we'll stick that in there. And that is our little journal insert. So let's see how many pockets we have. So we have this one back here. We have this one up here. Then inside we have 2 pockets over here. There and there. Then over here, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pockets and 3 envelopes. So how cool is that? So that is our video for today. And if you had your little journal insert like this, you would just put it into your journal page and you can just sew it right in and open it out, fold it over. I didn't make a closure for it because I think it'll lay down just fine. And I think this would be a really good set to go with that. So that's our video for today, everyone. Let me know down in the comments what you think, and I hope you come back to see me for my next video. And until then, everyone, have a wonderful day and happy crafting. Bye for now. Okay, everyone, I wanted to hop back on here for just a second because I said I was going to put lace on it. So this lace here, it's just a really fine, delicate lace, just narrow. So I put that on the front cover. I think you can see that. I put it on the pocket. Then I put on each one of the envelopes on the top. I put it over here on the bottom of this envelope. And then I put it on the back envelope. So I just wanted to hop back on and show you that. So again, have a wonderful day. Catch you later. Bye for now.